Yeah, how you been? Okay?
I've been doing very good. How you doing, Simon?
I'm doing fine, thanks, Jason. Good talk with you again.
Excellent stuff. So, Simon, we're promoting the brand new, upcoming, I should say, Dio, the very beast of Dio Volume 2. How is this
Yes.
coming about?
It's going good, you know. I feel good about promoting it, and yeah, it's going very well. It's a really good compilation. It's from like 1996 through the 2000 years, through a little bit of Strange Highways on there, Magica, Killing the Dragon, Master of the Moon and stuff, with some extra bonus tracks. That being Electra, which was going to be on Magica 2 and 3. Unfortunately, that never happened, but it's still a good representation of what kind of like what might have been. And then also there's Metal Will Never Die, which was the last track Ronnie sung on, and he did that with his cousin Rock Feinstein. And then there's a track, The Prisoner of Paradise, which was an extra track for Japan release on the album Master of the Moon.
Mm-hmm.
So I think all in all, it's a good retrospect of those years and those albums that were released.
Besides those bonus tracks, is there any more you think that are still floating around in the vaults?
Yeah, there are some. There's like because he'd already started writing the Magica album, and they're just in demo form. There's like 3 or 4 of them, I think. And at some point, I do believe that they're going to get released, but we leave that up to Wendy because she's in charge of all that kind of thing.
Now, Simon, you participated in a lot of eras of Dio. What's your favorite and best album for you?
I really enjoyed them all in one way or another. I loved being involved or being there pretty much during the writing of the album Magica. That was just, because Ronnie had this idea, and to see it actually become something, it was just remarkable. He told me the story of Magica, and I just kind of went, well, wow, how's he going to pull this one off? But boy, did he! That was a really enjoyable time. Me and Craig would help him out in the studio. I would be, just with the demos of the album, and I'd be messing around on the drum machine, and Craig would have his ideas and stuff. And it took, all in all, I think around 8-9 months, something like that. But that stands out. I remember as being a really a great time. It was, a time of really great camaraderie. So yeah, I'd have to say the Magica days.
The release of this, where did this idea come in to make Volume 2?
I think it was, Wendy has her record company, and she felt after the success of the very beast of Dio, the Volume 1, I guess you call it, I guess she felt that there was a whole period missing, which people,
right,
may not have been aware of, and between her and her office manager, Dean Schachtel, they came up with this, and I think it's a great retrospect of those years and those albums. They have a place and a time in Dio's history.
Like we talked in the last interview, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, about miking techniques and ACDC while you were playing with them. Did it change much, would you say, with Dio?
It did a little bit. I think there was less involvement in the drum sound in ACDC because it was just a straight-ahead rock and roll band. Nothing wrong with that. But there was a little bit more time and care taken with the miking. But I just really leave that to the engineer. I'm not very well versed on microphones and stuff in the studio. I'm more of a player. And if I like the sound, I like it. If I don't, I don't, and I let people know. So, yeah, it did change a little bit. There was a little bit more thought went into it because I think it's just the structure of the music and the way, there's more work to do on the toms in these kind of songs, mm-hmm, and Ronnie's music and stuff, and we did mess a little bit with it, yeah.
And for Dio and the websites, which is Facebook mostly, the people are still joining it and more. Do you find there's a new resurgence of younger people getting and discovering Dio?
There might be, yes. I think it's how generations work. I think mothers and fathers, and they become mothers and fathers, and they pass all this great music on to their children, and the songs and Ronnie's reputation, it'll never die, it'll never end, and I think people, maybe want to know a little bit more, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people missed out and they never got to see Dio in either Rainbow, Sabbath, or Dio and stuff. So I think it's important, for families and stuff and everything to reflect and pass on and pass down his great music.
Let's say in 100 years from now, where do you think this is all going to go? Hard rock in general and metal.
I think it'll just keep going. I think it's always been around. It's never really gone away. Especially in places like Europe, Germany, Sweden, and all those other countries, England. I just think it'll keep going. It's got such a great heritage, heavy metal and heavy rock. There's been such, astounding songs that have come out of the whole genre. I just think it'll probably, keep going forever.
Now, let's say Simon Wright, let's say you would do a drum seminar and stuff like that. Now, compared to in the past, would you say a young kid learning drums now is different than when you were learning drums in your days to become the best at what you can be?
Well, I think these days you have I forgot the name of that. It's like the video game with the pads.
Right.
The name
Rock
of it.
Band.
Thank you, Jason. Yeah.
Yes.
I think that has become something that a lot of children are being, encouraged to do. I'm not sure if it's a good thing because it's so really far away from actually playing a real drum kit that I'm not sure if it's a help or a hindrance. I played it once and I couldn't play it. My friend sitting next to me who has never been a drummer, was doing better than I was. So it's my best advice for kids is to just enjoy yourself and stuff. If you're going to play the drums, enjoy yourself with it, and if you like it, take it further than being a hobby. But you've got to put some real commitment in it to get good, and you got to rehearse and practice and listen to as many other drummers as you can and musicians and read up on things, and just as long as you're enjoying it and doing it from the heart, it usually pays off.
Let's take a drummer like Simon Wright, which is you, and what do you learn nowadays? Like, what level are you at? And where do you go now if you want to learn something new? I just listen to a lot of stuff that's going on around me. There's some incredible drummers out there, and even some of the drummers that there's incredible new drummers, and some of the drummers that have been around for years are still putting out some great, songs and stuff, playing on some great stuff. I just listen to as much as I can. There's nothing specifically. I do listen to a lot of music, on Sirius in my car and stuff and that, and do a lot of channel changing. But if a good drummer's a good drummer, you're going to hear it, and it always shines through. And I always keep listening to other players and try to learn bits and pieces from everybody. And still on the subject of drumming, there's certain players, which you're one of them, that have that distinct sound quality, and we know it's you playing. Like you take Alex Van Halen, it's him playing. We know it's Simon Wright playing. Is it something that comes natural, let's say, that you just take any drum set and we know it's you?
I think it's a combination of the two. I must admit, I think Alex's sound is a bit more
recognizable than mine. I like more of a straightforward sound. I love Alex's sound. I think it's awesome. It's kind of what makes Van Halen Van Halen. But yeah, I've got my ways of approaching the drum kit, and I go off how the drum kit feels as well. And it just comes from the way I play. I think everybody has a certain originality about them, and it's important, for it to be like that. That's where, individualism comes into play and stuff. But I'm more of a player who plays for the song. I think I'm not that really concerned with my what am I trying to say here? I like my sound to be hard and tough, mostly, and just straight ahead.
Because if you take any ACDC album which you're pairing on, we know it's you. If we take Dio albums and it's you playing, you can tell. And certainly when you look at the DVDs of Dio, which you're pairing on, it's incredible, what we're hearing, and we know exactly it's you and your style. And I'm sure you realize that, right?
Yes, of course. I mean, I'm not Vinny Appice. I mean, that's the thing, being in Dio and being in ACDC, I had to try and be, from the way I was looking at things, I've been lots of drummers. I've been Phil Rudd, I've been Bill Ward, I've been Cozy Powell, I've been Vinny Appice. You have to. I think that's my appreciation for drummers and my love for drumming. That's why I've done that, because I've tried to bring my own little bit of me to the songs, but I also really, really appreciate and respect what those drummers have done in those songs. The stuff Bill Ward did, Cozy did, Vinny did. And I'm sure there's some other drummers in there as well I forgot about, but it's with total respect that I try to, at least capture some of the integral parts of the songs, but I try to put my own spin on it as well. I've just always felt that way and tried to play that way.
And it certainly shows, and it's a very, very good drumming you do, and that's your style, obviously. It's great.
Thanks, Jason.
You're welcome. And what's Simon Wright doing these days, besides promoting this album?
We have a Dio Disciples, our band Dio Disciples. We pay tribute to Ronnie's music. We celebrate his life, and we keep his music alive for his fans and stuff. We have an American tour which is being set up at the moment. We have some dates. We start 20th of October in Anaheim, California at the House of Blues, and it goes right the way through to the 21st of November and ends up in Watertown, New York. And we're basically going from California and heading east and out on the road and keeping Ronnie's name alive. It's me, Scott Warren, Greg Goldie, Tim Ripper Owens. Basically, his last band that was with him.
Excellent stuff. And anything else you're doing? Like you've been recording stuff for people, and maybe?
Yeah, I just finished up a couple of weeks ago. I found some friends of mine in Italy. They have a band called The Rocker, and it's kind of three-chord rock. Rhino Bucket, ACDC, a little bit of Guns N' Roses thrown in there as well. It's really, really good. I enjoyed doing it, and that album should be out, I think, sometime next year. But it's sounding good, so people keep your ears out for that.
And Simon, this would be recorded mostly like sharing files, would it be, or being right in the same room together?
No, they came over here.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a fantastic bass player producer over here. His name is Fabrizio Grossi. He's worked with Glenn Hughes, Steve Vai, and a whole bunch of other people. He's a great bass player. And he engineered everything at a studio over here in Calabasas, and he did an incredible job. And, the guys came over from Italy, and we put down the backing track, and they were there did that in a couple of days, and they stayed there for another 4 or 5, and got the album done.
Well, Simon, I really appreciate you taking this time and promoting all this greatness because it is pure greatness at Dio. Wish you also the best in life.
Yes, absolutely. No problem, Jason. My pleasure. Anytime. Thanks.